Okay, so are you ready to dive into AI in education? We've got two awesome reports to unpack today. One's academic, and the other is straight from UNESCO. So no matter what brings you here, prepping for a big presentation or just like, wanting to sound brilliant at your next dinner party,
Yeah.
we've got you covered.
Yeah, it's incredible how fast things are moving.
Yeah,
It really is remarkable when you think about it. I mean, AI in education isn't some far off thing anymore. It's already here.
happening now. Yeah, and in the reports, one of the things they were talking about was these personalized learning platforms. They adapt to how you learn best.
It's pretty amazing stuff.
It is pretty amazing. And then you've got systems that are being used to grade students' work. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, that's a big one for sure. I mean, how do you make sure something like that is used responsibly, especially in a classroom setting?
Right. And as these technologies get even more advanced and sophisticated, like, how do we even begin to prepare students for a world that's, increasingly shaped by AI?
Well, the report actually suggests looking back to ancient Greece for some guidance.
Okay, now you've got to tell me more about that because ancient Greece and artificial intelligence, that's not something you hear every day.
I know it sounds strange, but there are some really interesting parallels. The report highlights Socrates and his emphasis on questioning. Remember, he always encouraged his students to challenge assumptions, to think critically.
Yeah, so you're saying that even when an AI gives you an answer, you shouldn't just take it as gospel.
Exactly. You need to investigate. You got to see if it holds up under scrutiny, just like Socrates would have wanted us to.
Like being an AI fact checker almost.
Yeah, exactly. You got to teach students to understand the limitations of the technology and think for themselves.
Which I feel like is like the most important skill right now in this day and age,
Sure.
where information spreads so quickly, but also misinformation.
Absolutely. And it's not just about questioning AI either. It's
Yeah.
about remembering that human judgment is still essential. And this is where the report brings in Aristotle's concept of phronesis, sometimes called practical wisdom.
Okay, so break that down for me a little. What is phonesis and how does it relate to AI?
Well, think of it like this AI might be great at logic and calculations, right? It can process information faster than we ever could.
Right.
But when it comes to those nuanced real world decisions, it often falls short. You know what I mean?
I was like, AI has the brains, but not the heart or the gut feeling?
Yeah. Exactly. AI doesn't have that lived experience to draw on. It might be able to process tons of data, but it can't really replicate the kind of street smarts that humans develop over time.
Which is probably why they say, common sense isn't so common.
Yeah.
So even with all this incredible AI potential, we still need human oversight, especially in something as important as education.
Absolutely. And speaking of guidance, the UNESCO report, Guidance for Generative AI in Education and Research, that we have, it's packed with practical recommendations.
Yeah, it's like they're giving us a roadmap for navigating this whole new world of AI.
And one of the key takeaways is the need for governments to step up with some clear regulations for generative AI, especially when it comes to data privacy.
Which reminds me,
Mhm.
with all this talk about AI needing data to personalize learning, how do we make sure we're protecting student privacy?
That's a huge concern. And UNESCO really emphasizes that. They recommend things like age restrictions for using generative AI in education, particularly with younger students.
Okay, so being careful about how we introduce this technology
Exactly. It's about responsible and ethical implementation every step of the way.
and not just a blanket yes or no to AI in schools.
Right. And a big part of that is giving teachers the tools they need. The report stresses the importance of teacher training in this area, equipping them to use AI effectively in their classrooms.
It's like AI 101 for teachers, how it works, what to watch out for, and most importantly, how to use it to help their students learn better.
Exactly. And they don't just talk about it in general terms either. The report actually gives specific examples, like using AI as a Socratic challenger in the classroom.
A Socratic challenger. Now that sounds interesting. How does that work?
So picture this, an AI system that's designed to engage students in debate, challenge their assumptions, and really push their critical thinking skills.
Okay, I'm listening.
It could present different viewpoints, pose thought-provoking questions, and encourage students to explain their reasoning all in a structured and supportive environment.
It's like having a super smart debate partner that's always up for the challenge.
Right. And that's just one example. UNESCO also talks about using AI as like a personalized language tutor.
Oh, wow. Imagine having a language tutor that's available 24/7 and adapts to your specific needs and gives you instant feedback.
Yeah.
That could be a game changer, especially for students who might not have access to traditional tutoring.
It's incredible to think about all the possibilities, but all of this also brings up another important question. How do we assess student learning in this new landscape?
Right. If an AI can write a B essay, what does an A even mean anymore?
It's a fundamental question, and UNESCO acknowledges that we need to seriously rethink our assessment models. The old ways of doing things might not cut it in a world where AI can do things that used to be considered uniquely human.
It's like we're not just integrating AI into education, we're reimagining what education itself means.
Exactly. It's a pretty exciting time to be involved in education, wouldn't you say?
It really is, and it's a lot to get your head around, you know? Like it's making us rethink what it means to learn and what it even means to be educated.
Yeah, it's a big shift for sure. But the exciting thing is we're just getting started. This is like the very beginning of exploring what AI can do in education.
It's like we're standing on the edge of something brand new, and the possibilities are kind of endless.
Exactly. And UNESCO makes it clear that this isn't just a conversation for, tech people or politicians. This is something everyone needs to be talking about. Teachers, parents, students, the whole community. It affects all of us.
That's true. It's a good reminder that AI isn't separate from us. It's
Mhm.
something we need to be really thoughtful about as we figure out how to use it.
Exactly. And, all the things we've talked about today, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. This field is changing so fast. There's new research and new developments happening all the time.
So we can't just stop learning about this stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like we have to keep digging deeper. Stay curious if we want to use AI to make education better.
100%.
Hmm.
And that's what makes this such an amazing time to be involved in education. The possibilities really are limitless.
Well, I know I've learned a lot today, and I've definitely got a lot to think about. A huge thank you to you, expert speaker, for guiding us through all of this.
It's been my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI and education. We'll see you next time.